Hello guys, and welcome to this third tutorial about SQL full course for beginners. If you haven't already watched the first and second tutorials, you can find the link in the description or you can click in the link displayed above. In this tutorial, we are going first to start with alter command and to add some columns, to drop a column, to rename a column, add and remove constraints. Then we are going to talk about the difference between select and select distinct. We will also talk about aliases and about the operators. So to start, we are going to create a new SQL tab. We are going to create a table. Okay, right, create table customers, right? So it will have customer ID, which will be an int. We will also have first name, which will be varchar, okay, and it will have like 30 characters. We'll have last name, so same thing, varchar 30, and we'll have age, okay, which will be an int. So create our table, and if we refresh, so we get here our customers table, okay, which will have customer ID, first name, last name, and age. Here I didn't change or create a new database, so it is added directly to the Scikila database, but you can create a new database and create this new table inside your database. So this is just a demo, it will not impact our database. So first, if we want to add a new column, we use alter, right, table, customers, and you write here add column, of course, for example, test, and it will be, for example, int. Okay, if we execute that and if we refresh our table, so we have test, a new column added to our table. If we want to remove, okay, we write alter table customers, drop column, and we write our column. Okay, so if you execute that and we refresh, so the column is deleted. Okay, for example, if we want to rename a column, we use alter table, so we have customers, and we write rename column. We have, for example, the age to, for example, customer age. If we execute that and we refresh, so the name is changed to customer age. We can also modify the data type of a column. To do that, we write alter table customers, and we write modify. We write the column name, which is, for example, we stay with customer age, and we write the new data type. For example, we say double. Okay, so just to show you how to change the data type. Okay, and if we execute that, and if we want to check, for example, if the data type is changed or not, we can use the show command. So we write show create, and we write table with the name of our table, so customers. Okay, if we execute that, so we will have the following. If you put your cursor in here, so you can see that the customer age is double with default null. Okay, and as you can see here, customer ID is an integer. If we change it to int, okay, so write integer, we execute that, we do the same thing, so we execute, and we can see that the customer age is an integer. For example, if we want to set the customer ID into not null, so we add the not null constraint, we can use the following. So we write alter table, we have customers, okay, we write modify the name of the column, which is customer ID, which is an int, and we set it to not null. Alright, if we execute that and we show our table, okay, so as you can see here, we have not null constraint is applied to customer ID. Same thing, if we want to modify that, we write alter table customers, modify customer ID and we remove the not. Okay, we execute that. We then execute our show and it will be to null. Alright, so we'll put it back to not null. We execute that and we show our table. Okay, so it is not null. Same thing for example, the first name column. If you want to change the null default into a given character, we can use the following. For example, we can write alter table, so customers, and we write alter column. Okay, so the name of the column, which is first name, and then we use set default, right, into, for example, nothing. Okay, if we execute that and if we show, since we don't have anything, so the default is nothing, so it is changed from null to nothing. Okay, same thing if you want to add the check constraint, so we can use the following. Same thing, alter table, so we have customers and we use add constraint. So we write the name of the column, which is customer age, and we write check. For example, we want everybody to have an age that is greater than 18 years old. For example, customer age is greater or equal than 18. Okay, so if we execute that and show our table, so we can see here that the constraint has been added. Okay, customer age constraint. Okay, customer age check, customer age greater or equal than 18. Okay, now if we want to insert data to our table, so insert into customers values. For example, the ID is 1. We just add some characters in here, and if we put, for example, 12, okay, which is less than 18, we execute that and we see the output. Okay, so insert into customer ID error, check constraint is violated. Okay, so here it will say to us that the value is not correct because you did not respect the condition. If we want to drop the constraint, okay, so we can write alter table customers, same thing, and we write drop constraint from our customer age. We execute that, and if we show our table one more time, we can see that the customer age constraint does not exist anymore. Okay, we have customer age int default null. Okay, so this is about adding and dropping constraint into our columns in a table. Now we will talk about the select and the select distinct and also the aliases. So to do that, we are going to create another tab. Okay, and this time we are going to use the, for example, the film table in the Sakila database. So we can use Sakila. Okay, and if we select, for example, all from, let's say, the film table, so we'll have the following. So we'll have all of the table in here, so it is present. Let me just put it like that. Okay, and here we have select all. So as we have said, the asterisk means all the columns. Okay, so we have here all the columns. Select, for example, only the title and the rental duration. For example, we can write title, comma, rental duration. Okay, and we will have only two columns, so rental duration from film limit 10. So we'll have an error, rental duration. We execute that and we get the following. Okay, so we have our title and our rental duration. Okay, we can select only the rental duration, same thing, and the distinct. So the select distinct is used to remove duplicates. so it will select only the different values that exist in the column. Okay, for example, if we select distinct rental duration, so here we have only the different values, so we don't have duplicates. Okay, so select distinct is used to remove duplicates in a given column. Now if we want to select these values and give it temporary name, we can use an alias. So we select distinct rental duration as distinct, call them for example distinct values from film, and if we execute that, the temporary name will be changed. Okay, so this name is used only when executing this query, and it will give us the name of the column as distinct values without the duplicates. Okay, so to use an alias, we use as like this, and we write the name, the temporary name that we want to use, then we execute our query. Okay, so as we have said, select is used to select given columns, distinct is used to remove duplicates, and aliases are used to give temporary names to our results displayed in a given query. Okay, now let's talk about the operators. All right, for example, we can start by the comparison operators. So to do that, we can work with the same table. So we write select all from film. So here we have our table. For example, we want to select title, select title from film where rental duration, for example, equal to 6, right? Okay, so we select all the title from film where rental duration equals to 6. We can also select the title and the rental duration to confirm that we have 6. Okay, we execute that one more time, so we have only 6. Now if we want to select rental duration greater than 6, so all the titles which have rental duration greater than 6, so we have here 7. Same thing, greater or equal than 6, so we have 6 and 7. Same thing, we can select less than 6, so we have all the values which are less than 6, less or equal. Okay, and we have different, so different is written like this. So we select all the titles where rental duration is different than 6, which means that we have all the values but 6. Okay, so we have the comparison operators are as follows. We can write them here. So we have equal, greater, greater or equal, we have less than or equal, and we have different. Okay, so these are the comparison operators. So that's all for this third part of the SQL course for beginners. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.